camera flash went off, reflection made your eyes red. You said you have a secret, may reveal on the portrait. We dressed up as well as others, fancy oversized coats. We don't know how to wear them. We do, it look like both. You are so well, and we're breathing still. You
This is Mon. Here we stayed the night before moving on to our next destination, Longwa, the village of the last headhunters. On a bright Monday morning, we started our journey towards Longwa, one of the biggest and most prominent villages inhabited by the Konyak tribe of Nagaland. Leaving behind the broken mountain roads that we traveled on for the last 3 days, we started on a narrow mountain road with the lush green hills of Burma on one side, a clear blue sky on top of our heads, and a cool breeze accompanying us as we traveled towards our destination. The Konyaks are the largest of the 16 tribes of Nagaland, and Longwa is one of the most important villages to them. There are 2 reasons what makes Longwa special. One is that the village stands on the international border between India and Myanmar. And second is that in Longwa resides the chief or king of the Konyaks, commonly known as angh. Yes, you heard that correct. They are still ruled by a king. Longwa sits at quite an altitude, hence it provides a grand view of the mountains and valleys all around it. But as our guide revealed, that this location was also strategic in the old days when the villagers could monitor enemy activity and impending attacks from the village itself. Once we were in Longwa, we hiked a few narrow trails and climbed a flight of stairs to reach a small patch of land with a breathtaking view of the mountains. At the center was a small concrete pillar that marked the international border between India and Myanmar. On both sides of the pillar were carvings, one side in Hindi and the other side in Burmese language. So here we were straddling an international border without passport or visa. The people residing in Longwa actually have dual citizenship. The angh's house in Longwa is actually longitudinally split between the 2 countries. The international border actually cuts through the house, making half of the house in India and other half in Myanmar. The angh's house is the grandest of all in Longwa. and to us, it looked more like a museum than a house. Konyaks were some of the most fiercest warriors and hunters among the Nagas, and the memories of those glory days are still on display in the angh's house, like old weapons and numerous animal skulls hung on the walls. The Konyaks prized them. We were allowed a glimpse of the angh's house and kitchen, where we got a chance to visit and spend some time with angh's family, huddled around the hearth, sipping black tea and chatting about the old ways. Konyaks were known to be the fiercest of headhunters, and raids between villages were quite common in the old days to command authority and to acquire land. So the next Konyak house we visited waited for us with its own stories. We were greeted by a 76 years old former headhunter sitting happily on his porch. His face had a beautiful dark tattoo, fading with age. Later, we found out that he had claimed 3 lives while being an active headhunter and was given his tattoo by the queen herself. He also wore colorful beaded ornaments with animal horns jutting out of his earlobes and headgear decorated with wild boar teeth. The older generation has now resorted to smoking opium and reveling in their past glory days. These are the last generation of headhunters who severed their enemies' heads before the government banned this barbaric practice. These men will take the tradition, stories, and the famous face tattoos to their graves with them. Their stories are still recited in the morans or the traditional schools in every Konyak village, along with some other significant history lessons. But as dust settles on the old days, they become more and more unclear with each passing day. We are sure that there are many such interesting stories and facts that hide in Nagaland with the other tribes, and our team shall surely try to reach them too in future. But this journey gave us a purpose to know more about and preserve the stories that are getting lost every day from different parts of our country.
There's always something, and I can try to change, but you want something else. Why cut off your wings? You could change the world and I'd still be a mess. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop, slide down the rooftop. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. You'd have to rebuild me from the ground up, from the ground up. You wanna tear down these walls, and I know you can do anything, but it's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop, slide down the rooftop. Slide down the rooftop. come back tomorrow. You know I might admit I wanted you to stay.